iron in their soul. What's up, YouTube? This is Iron and Soul, back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about my content. Also, for those of you who are new to my channel, please follow me over on Instagram as well at TheKingJabez. It'll be greatly appreciated. I want to talk about today's video, just really have a conversation about just the importance of stewardship, talent, money, resources, and those who use their talents wisely versus those who waste their abilities. You guys who have been following me for a while now, you know that I'm very big on every person having a gift. 1 Corinthians 7 verse 7 says it very clearly, each man has his own proper gift from God. So all of us have something that the Most High has given us. By the way, for those who have been following me, we are right now today at 3 years exactly with the Iron and Soul channel. 3 years today. I started December 5th of 2019. Some of you remember that very first video I recorded while in my office after work when I was working downtown Chicago for close to a decade. And I recorded my first video literally in my office after working a shift. And it was about the benefits of seed retention. And it's something that a lot of you guys have been able to get value from. Some of you have been able to practice this. Some of you have not been able to do that. You know, and at this point now, 3 years in the game, you know, it's up to each individual to basically take the knowledge that's been given to you and to invest into yourself and to be able to store that knowledge and information, to value it and put it into practice, or to become like the person in this story who regrets not using the abilities that God gave him. I want to talk about today from Matthew 25. I'm going to read from the ESV, or the English Standard Version. And this is a very powerful teaching on 3 different types of men, 3 types of servants. So listen to this. For it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted them to his property. To one gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went his way. So we see as we begin this, we have 3 different men, right? One's given 5 talents, one's given 2, and one's given 1. And it says here, the key word, each to his own ability. So everyone doesn't have the same level of gifts. So that's why you have to be so careful comparing yourself to other people. We have to avoid the sin of comparisons. Comparisons can be a sin. Now, to be challenged by others, to be inspired by others, is a good thing. To be influenced by others. Some of you follow me because you want to be influenced by me. You want to be encouraged. You're looking for guidance, instruction, sometimes a warning, whatever the case may be. So everyone has their own gifts and abilities. Verse 16 says, so he had received the 5 talents, went at once and traded with them and made 5 talents more. So also he that had 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid from his master's money. Now after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled the accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here I have made 5 talents more. So let's park right there. This first man is a wise man. He takes what's given to him, right? The money, his time. All of us have 3 things: time, talent, and treasures, right? We all have time, talent, treasures. Time is something that we can't waste. We have to manage our time. We have to be wise stewards of the time given to us. We don't know how much time we have. It's limited. Goes by quickly. Then you have your treasures. That's the resources you have. That's your money, your gold, your silver, your investments, your property, your cars, your, whatever you have, your possessions. Those are your treasures. And then you have your talents, your abilities. Some of you guys are talented barbers. Some of you men are entrepreneurs, businessmen. Some of you guys are really good working with your hands, handymen. Some of you guys are athletic. Some of you men are very well spoken, good speakers. You can influence people. You have charisma. Some of you guys are very or highly intelligent, right? So it's up to you as a man to figure out what is your lane. This first guy we talked about here, he figured out, okay, I have these 5 talents. Let me double this. Right? Let me get double on my investment. This is what the master gave me. And the master here, by the way, is God. This is a deeper lesson. This message is a lot deeper than a boss giving 3 workers a responsibility. This is really about real life. This is about God giving each man a certain amount of talents. You see, the Most High invests in all of us to a degree. And it's up to you and I to really use what he's given us. And if we don't, he'll give it to somebody else. If we drop down a few verses to verse 24, check this out. This is that third man that has regrets. He says, he also who had received the 1 talent came forward saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow. Excuses. And gathering where you scattered no seed. So let's stop right there. You don't want to be a man always making excuses. You don't want to be a man making excuses for why you can't retain, for why you can't go to the gym, why you can't get a girl, why you can't get on your stuff. You don't want to be that guy that just refuse to figure it out. And guys, I tell you, in trying to figure it out, guess what? It's going to be hard. Okay, I'm not saying you're going to figure it out right now. It may take you a few years. That's okay. It may take you 2, it may take you 5 to get things lined up. So this is not me suggesting that this is going to happen overnight. It doesn't. I'm reminded of Abraham Lincoln, who failed at public office, I believe from my reading, somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, we're talking 5 to 7 times. He failed running for public office before he eventually, of course, became the president of the United States. So this is not a message about living a life without failure. And failure is a part of the journey. Okay? So if you are afraid of that, you might as well stop doing whatever you're doing right now. If you can't take some L's, what are you going to do in life? So let's get that clear right now. This is not saying that you're going forward and being a wise steward of what God's giving you. Guess what? It's like putting on a new glove. It's going to be awkward at first. When God gives you a gift, it's like a brand new glove. You ever play baseball? It's uncomfortable. It has to be broken in. So you're going to have a lot of awkward conversations. This is what I know from experience. You're going to have a lot of awkward days. Humiliation, embarrassment, times when you are stressed to the core. Days when you are depressed. Right? When your money is tight. Your woman not acting right. Your money ain't right. I was told by one of my mentors years ago, you want to have 4 things right. Your house, your car, your job, and your woman. Right? As a man, you want to be right with your job because you got to have resources to be able to be right with your woman. Okay, you're going to have a hard time being right with a woman without any resources. Okay, so when we have those 4, you got your job, right? You got to be good with your boss so you can get your money or become a boss, one of the two. You got your resources, you got that on point. You're working and grinding, getting that done. Sometimes working side hustles, whatever it takes. And then you have your lady, you have your woman, you have your girlfriend, you have your fiance, your wife, your baby mama, whatever you want to call her. Building that relationship. That's a stewardship, by the way. That's a talent. That's a treasure that God's given you. Treasure, by the way, isn't just money. Treasures is your woman and your children. You hear me? Your woman and your kids, those are your treasures, my boy. That's worth more than, 10 bands, 100 bands for that matter. Your family. So we have to be right with our job. We have to be right with our woman, our wife, our girlfriend, our fiance, baby mama, whatever you want to call her. Your boo, you dig? Whatever you want to call her, And you have to be right with you want to have your car right. Your car is like your horse. You think about ancient war days, they had horses to travel. You got to have your vehicle to get to places. So having your vehicle on point, having money put aside for them. I'm just giving you some games somebody gave me. Some of you guys don't know this. Somebody had to teach me this stuff. Having your money set aside, because you know what, with a car, you already know this, by the way. You guys know this. I've been driving used cars for 10, 15 years now. Okay? The brakes will go out eventually. Something's going to go wrong. You'll need a starter at some point. Transmission may mess around, go out. You dig? You know, oil changes, tires. It's always something with a car, especially a used car. So let me give you some free advice. This is your brother Iron. Give you some free game. Get AAA. You know, or car insurance that covers roadside assistance, all the good stuff. But because it's part of being prepared for it. It's gonna get cold outside. Okay, I'm your big brother. Give me some game. It's gonna get cold. Sometimes the car may not start. That battery may die on you. Then what do? You know, have your blanket in the car. Have your emergency kit. Have your charging phone at all times. You know, be prepared for the worst. That's a part of being a steward, right? If we're leading a family, we have to be prepared for whatever come our way. So, you know, you have your car, and then you have your, you know, so what did I say? I said you have your job, your woman, your car, and your home. Wherever you're living, whether you're renting an apartment, whether you have a condo or a home, you want to make sure things are good there. You know, with your electricity, plumbing, whatnot, you know what I mean, the bills, you know what I mean, keeping current so you're not getting put out your place in the middle of winter. A lot of that's been happening. It was very tough out here right now. And part of that also is having friends who can help you when you are in trouble. That's one of the reasons for having money, by the way. For those who have money, no one's saying you're there to be a bank, but it is important to have friends who can help you when you fall on hard times. Things happen. You can lose a job. You can get hours cut back. There are times when you are in need. So it is imperative that you have people around you who can help you if you need it. Let me throw it out there too, because you're going to have a hard time trying to stay on top of your job, being connected rightly with your woman, your vehicle, and your home with no assistance. That's not how that works. If we can figure it out by ourselves, then I'm wasting my time with this whole YouTube channel. The truth is we need assistance. We need guidance. And assistance isn't always money. Sometimes assistance is information, knowledge. So, you know, this person, he wasted all of that. And it's a shame. And it says he hid his talent. And what God did was, I'm not going to read all of this, but you can read it yourself. This is Matthew 25, 14 through 30. What happened to him is that basically the talent that he didn't use, God took that and gave it to the man who had 5. So now he got more now. So he had his 5 plus 5 he got plus that 1. So now he got 11 talents. You see how that works? When you don't use what God gives you, God doesn't waste. You waste, but God doesn't. So he'll take that from you. He's going to give it to somebody who's going to use it. And now you're sitting back salty, watching this person who thrive and wondering, well, who do you think he is? That's your fault, my boy. You're not using what God gave you. So my question to you, sir, are you using the mind that God gave you? Are you using the physical strength that God gave you? Some of you guys have an unusual physical strength. Are you using that ability? That came from the Most High. Everybody can't lift 500 pounds. Everybody can't deadlift, 500, bench 400, 450, get up to 250 pounds. Everyone's not built that way. So if you've been given this unusual strength, are you using it for the glory of God? Do you have a creative mind where you can do paint and music and artwork and all type of creative stuff? Are you a skilled handyman? Are you the type of guy that can take a house and build a house from scratch? Some guys can build a house from scratch. They're that talented with their hands. Cars. Some of you guys are cold on the cars. You get what I'm saying? There's something that you can do. And it's up to you to use that. Don't waste your time watching other men. Listen, what other men do is their business. But we're talking about talent and money. We have to use what God gave us if we want our money. Right? I'm doing this series now on the Bible and finances. And a part of your financial increase is up to you as a man using what the Most High has given you. We can't sit back and waste our time, waste our talents and treasures, and wonder why we don't have the resources we need. So this is a word of a challenge. This is encouragement. I think this message has many purposes to it. And it kind of like summarizes in a way what I've been teaching for 3 years now. Holding on to your seed is a way of stewarding your abilities. Reading each day, feeding your mind. That's using your talents wisely. That's investing into yourself. Consistently working 8 to 10 hours every week. Putting in consistent 40, 50, 60 hours somewhere working, whether it be for a company, organization, or yourself, it's being a wise steward of your time, your talents. Rising early. Let's just talk about it. I'm just talking from the hip now. This is what I've been teaching. Get up early. You know what I mean? Somewhere between 4 to, let's just say 7 a.m. Latest. Discipline ourselves, get up early. Why? Because your mind is sharp. Your mind is clear. Spending time in quietness, having enough discipline to meditate from time to time. Embracing your masculinity, right? This is a part of your talents, right? Being able to, embrace your masculinity, growing your beard out, staying in your masculine frame, building muscle, having a firm handshake, being able to create eye contact with people, not, being the type of person that can't look people in the face. That's not a good thing. When you are using your talents correctly, your time, talent, and treasures, being that priest, provider, protector, right? Write all this down if you're taking notes. Time, talent, treasure. It's very similar but different. We all have a limited amount of time. Okay, that's the reality of life. We have a limited amount of time. We cannot do this twice. Today, December 5th, 2022, will never happen again. When this day is over at midnight, it's over. Well, 11:59. Midnight is December 6th. Definitely over at that point. You get my point. Life is like a vapor. It appears for a little time and then boom, it's gone. That's what James says. So we have time. We have our talent. These are your abilities, your gifts, your treasures. These are your resources, your investments, your house, your apartment, whatever you have, your car. Most importantly, your family. Those are your most precious treasures. Your woman and your children, your family, your mama, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your family. Those are treasures, your blood. So what else have I been teaching? You guys been following me for 3 years. You should be commenting in the comment section. You know what I've been teaching. Overcoming the Jezebel. Right? I did a lot of teaching on that. We talked about returning back to that ancient Samson wisdom. Right? We talked about the hair growth, the spiritual authority that comes through prayer. We talked about various types of demons. I've given you guys a lot of knowledge over the last 3 years. Right? And I feel like it's your responsibility now to steward what I've taught you. And I'm giving this speech as if this is my last time talking to you, but it's not. But I feel like it is your responsibility to put into practice what I've taught. I can say with a good conscience, I have given you guys a lot of information. And I'm telling the truth. Hours of lives, a book, Becoming Strong as Iron. You can go buy that, by the way. Consultation calls. A lot of you guys I've talked to personally on the phone. I got a consultation for Thursday and Friday already scheduled for this week. I've met with some guys personally for coffee. I've met a number of guys at the gym. So I have invested a lot into this channel. A lot of time, a lot of talent and treasure. I had to spend some money for this, obviously, some of my equipment and whatnot. There's some treasures involved. There's a lot of time involved. And then there's a lot of talent involved. I mean, you guys are benefiting from my hours of research, hours of reading, years of reading, studying for years. So I say this to say today, you are responsible, sir, for what you've heard from me. I'm going to just lay it out here today on day 3. Year number 3. You get what I'm trying to say? 3 years, 3 full calendars, 3-piece. You guys have heard my voice. Some of you guys have been with me the whole time. In fact, I know one of the guys following me on Instagram. He's been following me the whole time. And that's important to me to see that. I've had some consistent, loyal followers. Some of you guys have been watching me for a year or 2. Some of you guys just found me a couple weeks ago. Welcome. But at the end of the day, you are responsible to put into practice. See, this is what the thing is, this whole idea of YouTube and teach and influence, it's up to you to put into practice what you hear. I'm just a messenger. I can't make you do anything. But I want to encourage you. I want to inspire. I want to motivate. Lead by example. I try my best to practice what I preach. And to be a man of my own word. So, I think that if you can wisely use your time, this is a big if, because there's so many distractions, by the way. When it comes to time, there's so many things that can distract you. That's all by design, to waste your time. Aimlessly scrolling your phone, that could waste your time. Being around the wrong people could waste your time. Drinking, getting high all the time could waste your time. Waste your money. But if you can use your time wisely, if you can really discipline yourself to use the abilities you have and to figure out how to get some treasure in this earth, you can transition and take your talent and transition into treasure and money and resources. Opportunity. Open doors. Advancing, prospering. The word prosper means to advance or to move forward with the help of the Most High God. So guys, this is what I have for you today on year 3. Thank you guys for following me this long. I look forward to what happened in next year. I have no intention of quitting anytime soon. This is your brother, Iron and Soul. Thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.